Louisville, the way that they're built, obviously focusing on around a freshman point guard. You talk about Michael Brown a little bit and the challenges he presents as a probably early draft pick.
Well, there's just a ton of great guard play. Mikel Brown, I think the ability is there in every way, right? He's got the ability to make every read in the open court, in space, and pick and roll. He's got great size. He shoots it at a really high rate off the catch, off the dribble. And the only thing that you could say is he's still young, but he doesn't play young. I watched him in Switzerland this summer with the U19 team. I thought he was the best player in the entire event. Him and maybe the guard at Texas Tech who will play against Anderson. But, and Dabonsa, these guys, who will all play against in our league that we're playing over there, they're young, but they don't play young. And so I'll give them a lot of credit there. But it doesn't just start and end with him. They have a plethora of guards, really 5 of them, and the other 4 don't just play with experience, they have tremendous experience. We're very familiar with Ryan Conwell, obviously, who's, I thought, maybe the most difficult cover last year that we had on our entire schedule on the perimeter, with the way that he shoots it, and he can do a lot more than just shoot it, and he shoots it in different ways. And then, you kind of keep getting into their roster. Everybody seems like they were a really coveted player in the portal. And then even the kid Rogers, who redshirted last year that came from Charleston, gives them a lot off the bench with energy and probably has a lot of ability. He just finds himself playing behind 4 guys, but they do play all 5 of them.
I'm curious, have you been able to kind of get acclimated to the Cincinnati and Louisville rivalry and what it kind of means to people here and how it feels to be playing them again?
I mean, I have awareness of it. I certainly watched it, as a kid. And the old everybody talks about Metro. When I was a kid, it was Conference USA. And so I remember watching those games. UNC Charlotte was in the league at those times. I was growing up in Charlotte. So I was very well aware of the rivalry then. Certainly living here, I've heard about it for a long time. And, these rivalry games are fun. So it's a great opportunity for us. I'm glad that we're playing a game like this. And I'm glad we're playing it in our city. I wish we were playing it in Fifth Third. I mean, I've had quite a few people over the last week say, would you rather play this game at home? Heck yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But it's still here local. And, excited for this opportunity for our team and a real challenge early in the year to see where we are.
Coach, you mentioned Ryan Conwell, obviously a guy that you guys are very familiar with. It feels like you guys have seen him at multiple different stages throughout the last few years. Does it get challenging to kind of game plan for him as as years move on, knowing what he's capable of doing? Is it kind of difficult to scheme up for him a little bit more?
I think with their team, and you talk about those 4 guards, and now there's 5 because you talk about Rogers. But the 4 that really all shoot it, all drive it, it's hard to game plan for any 4 of them individually because there's somebody else out there on the court. I think if you were playing Virginia last year, you could game plan for one dynamic perimeter player. All right, now that guy's playing for Louisville. If you were playing against Xavier last year, you gamed playing for one really dynamic offensive perimeter player. Now that guy's playing for Louisville. If you were playing against Mikel Brown at any point, or a lottery pick in the next draft, you game plan for that one specific perimeter player, but he's got those other guys, right? And you kind of, and then the transfer from Kennesaw State, it's the same thing, right? He was the leading scorer, freshman, shot 40. They all shot 40% already, have all averaged double figures. So a lot of teams you'll play against have one guy that you can really focus on. Louisville has 4, and then I'd say the 5th Rogers is probably a guy like that too. So again, 5 elite perimeter players, and it's hard to game plan for one specific guy. That's why they're the 6th ranked team in the country and the 2nd ranked offense in the country.
I know it's different because you didn't really game plan or do scouting, but is this why you play Michigan? Is this why you play Arkansas in the exhibition portion? So that when you get a Louisville, your guys are at least used to the athleticism and the length and the things you see from, a top-level opponent?
It's one of the reasons, sure. Yeah. I mean, like I said, there wasn't one outstanding reason that we scheduled the way we did for our exhibition segments, but there was a lot of benefits to that. And one of them is, it's not the same as a real game, but you're starting to prepare for playing against the elite talent and the elite teams. And, I view Louisville as a team that, is a national championship contender going into the year, right? I mean, and give them credit for putting together that type of team. And so we've played against Michigan and Arkansas, and those are teams that could be viewed the same way.
Do they play faster than you, or can you play as fast as them?
I don't know. I don't even know how to answer the question. I'm not really concerned about it. I'm concerned about being the better team. We care a lot about our pace, but we're not in a competition for pace. We're about our pace, how we want to play, and doing a great job against the opponent. So that, I'm not trying to be rude. Just as we go into our prep, we're only trying to figure out how to win the possession-to-possession competition. I'm not trying to compare the pace of play by any means.
When you look at the job that Pat Kelsey has done since taking over the Louisville job, what really stands out about the style of his teams, and what do they bring to the table in terms of identity and challenges they might present?
I think they play very aggressively. They play aggressively defensively for sure. I think they play aggressively offensively. Everybody that catches the ball is a threat, and I think that's been consistent when you look at his teams over the years.
You have individual guys that have great defensive metrics, defensive instincts, talent. How far off do you think you are from those guys becoming the type of defensive unit they can be? And how good is this type of test where you're playing a team that has a bunch of offensive skill?
Yeah. I think my goal is our best defense collectively to be in February and March. So hopefully we're really far off. I mean, honestly, and that just means you're getting better, every segment of the season. So, but that's not a negative answer on where we are now. I think that the challenge right now is to do things more consistently. There's some stretches where we're able to put possessions together on defense, and you can see that it's going to be really good. We got to get more consistent, but to be at our best, I think we're a long, long way away. But to be effective, I think we just have to be more consistent.
How do you go about making sure that your guys, and especially your younger guys, don't get maybe too hyped up, too excited for this game, and that they stay even-keeled through the practice week and going into Friday?
Gosh, guys, I'm sitting here trying to worry about getting better in practice today. I mean, they're competitors. They'll be excited to play. We'll be excited to coach. That doesn't concern me, right? I think we have a lot of guys that have played in big games on big stages and big environments, so that's not as much of a concern in the big picture, but maybe something to look out for. Yeah.
Possibly a practice question. What did you see through the first few games as the biggest thing that you guys are working on to get ready for Louisville?
Just like, again, Louisville's got a great team. I think everybody's aware of that. But for us, it does start with us. We can't get away from us thinking about the opponent. And for us, it's about doing things more consistently. Again, I think there's been enough stretches in games, enough possessions that you can see that if we get more consistent, our success can be more sustainable. And that's exciting. I think that gives us confidence that we're going to be a very good basketball team. So we're just trying to figure out how to do the right things more consistently and stop doing some of the things that are keeping us from having some of those stretches, right? So I think it's just consistency and commitment all the time to the things that will make us a good team.
Historically, those rims at Heritage Bank Center are considered tight. Have you seen that in the 2 years that you've played there? Is that something you can't worry about, or do you do anything about it at all?
I don't worry about that. I don't know about that. I don't worry about that. We've played over there twice, and I've never felt that there was any kind of problem in that kind of sense. But I don't know. I doubt they use the same rims now that they used 30 years ago, or we played there in the 70s and 80s, right? I would imagine it's not the same goals. I don't know. If it is, they had some good stuff in the 70s and 80s.
You played down there twice against Dayton. That turned into a home and home. Can this turn into a home and home?
I don't know. I mean, again, if I had my way, and I'll say this, if I had my way, we'd be playing this game at home. I mean, that would be what I want. I don't know if that. I don't want to discourage people from coming down to the game, because listen, we're playing in our city, and we're not far from Louisville, so fan support will mean a lot to us. I don't even have I deleted social media off my phone. I don't even have it. I mean, I guess I haven't deleted the account, so nobody can say I'm lying, because you could pull up some page or something that maybe our marketing department has access to, but I don't even have it. But somebody said something to me the other day about the ticket prices, and I didn't like that. That's not Cincinnati. We don't hike ticket prices. So I've called the promoter and said that they got to figure something out there. I hope they come out with some kind of discount code or something like that. So I hopefully look out. I don't control it, but if I did, they would drop significantly, because come on, people in this city should be able to come watch Cincinnati, Louisville play for an affordable price, and so I hope we make some adjustments there. But I don't get it wrong. I don't want to discourage anybody from coming down. It'd be great to have as many Bearcats down there as we possibly can. But yeah, if I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to be playing this game in Fifth Third, and I imagine next year when we return the game, Louisville would rather play in the Yum Center than play in Freedom Hall. But that's not the way it worked out this time, and in the future we can talk about something different.
Pat told me when he was at Wake, they recruited you, and he says obviously you made the better decision because you got a title out of it, but you do have some history with him.
Yeah, Pat and I have known each other since I was in high school, as he mentioned, and then we've been in coaching together and in the same areas for a long time. He was at Winthrop for a lot of the time that I was at UNC Greensboro, which is only a couple hours apart, and we recruited against each other, scrimmaged against each other, that kind of thing. So I've known Pat for a long time. Think extremely highly of him. Like he's done an awesome job at Charleston now, at Winthrop, Charleston, and now Louisville. And so yeah, there's a lot of history in the relationship there over the years.
All right, for both of you, Louisville, I think number 6 in the country. What kind of preparation was Michigan and Arkansas to get ready for these guys?
I feel like the Michigan-Arkansas game are exhibition games, so we didn't put as much emphasis on it. Like, we respected them obviously going into the game, but this is a real game. We're gonna have a real scout. Like, we're taking this one far more seriously, for sure.
Jalen, how much? I mean, you missed 2-3 months. How far along are you in getting back to where you want to be?
I'm working to it every day. I feel like there's no set. Okay. I was just sick too, so I still have a little lingering cough too, so I feel your pain. But no, I feel like obviously I'm not where I want to be at, but I made a lot of progress, and thankfully I have Bob and just my teammates and the coaching staff just keep believing in me. So we're working towards it. But to be honest with you, I'm not I didn't come to Cincy to do what I've done in the last 4 games. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna keep building on it, and luckily I have great teammates like Baba and the rest of the guys to kind of pick up my weight and for us to be 4-0.
For both of you guys, obviously Friday's matchup is a little bit unique, being just right down the road basically for a neutral site game. Have either of you guys played in a neutral site environment that's essentially 2 miles down the road per se compared to a home game?
No, never. Probably not. Normally neutral games, It's in a city that neither our team or their team's from, but I feel like playing in Cincy is going to be a huge advantage for us. I feel like, I mean, the gym's like a mile off campus, 2 miles off campus, so I feel like the fans are going to show up and they're going to make sure that they bring energy, and I don't know, I feel like we're pretty excited for it.
Louisville's one of the better offensive teams in the country. I think they're top 10 in pace. On top of that, how much of an emphasis is defense going to be? Because I think everybody looks at it and says Cincinnati's offense wants to play fast, Louisville's offense wants to play fast. It's going to be a track meet. How much is it on you guys to slow them down and keep them out of that rhythm?
I mean, I feel like it starts with their guards. I mean, obviously they have a really good point guard, but I feel like we have some guards that can really sit down and guard and make them uncomfortable. So I think they're going to do an amazing job against them. And then I feel like we practice every day is just running. Offense, defense, everything's just high pace, like connected, aggressive. And I feel like these next few practices are going to emphasize that a lot. And I'm really confident that we're going to do a good job of that in game time.
Jalen, coach said that you guys are kind of chasing more consistency because you've kind of shown that if you can be more consistent, you can be a good team. What have you learned about that pursuit over your college career, and maybe how difficult it is or how monotonous it can be, and just doing the same thing over and over again, trying to get better at it every day?
I mean, like the little things like matter. So I feel like being an older guy now, I'm just trying to preach that to the team, and we have a very mature team, so they know that as well. But just being in college for a long time, you realize how important the little things really matter that you think are stupid, or coach may be telling you about like little subtle footwork that you may not care about. All those things matter. So yeah, like literally, like you said, like those things really matter to build consistency, and consistency builds a great team, and that's ultimately what we were trying to be. So yeah.
Bob, kind of a similar question, but in the losses that you've had in your career, can you kind of say that most of them were due to the little things kind of slipping through and just not kind of being on top of your P's and Q's?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of wins come down to details, especially at this level. I feel like everybody's going to play hard, everybody's going to execute to a high level, but I feel like taking care of the small stuff, the small details that you work on every day in practice are going to be key to winning games like this and in the future.
The legend of Heritage Bank Center is that they have tight rims. As a shooter, how do you handle that? Do you block it out? Do you not care about it?
Yeah, you don't really put too much attention towards that. We're gonna get in the gym, I believe, on Thursday. We have shoot around, so been in college for a long time, playing basketball for a long time now. Every gym's different. You just gotta shoot the ball with the same confidence, and the rest take care of itself.
Just don't hit the rim, right?
Don't hit the rim. Yeah, literally.
Baba, this was mentioned the other day, but Keegan and I were at the football game after the game, and they had, for whatever reason, for the next day, they had the camera set up. So we weren't spying on you, but we saw that you and some of the guys were getting in some extra work, and that seems to be something that you've done all year long. How has that helped you going in and getting the extra shots?
I feel like it's just always been my routine since I've been in college, just getting some extra work at night, but it's nothing crazy, just going over small stuff, just feel good, things I do at night, but I feel like now I just have to find a balance between getting the extra work and getting off my feet so that I can be 100% ready physically for the game.
For most of you guys on this roster this year, obviously very new to this old UC Louisville rivalry for some who watched in the past. Has Coach Miller kind of re-emphasized a little bit of what this rivalry meant in the past, or keeping it focused on what Friday brings for you guys?
Kind of more so keeping it to what Friday brings. I mean, I didn't even answer the question. He's more so been talking about like the game itself, but we still got 2 more days. I'm sure we're gonna learn about it. Obviously, we're both transferred, but we know about the history behind it. And yeah, we're just trying to add another win to Cincinnati's column.
Yep.
Do you look at this game any differently throughout the week because they are as highly ranked as they are, or do you keep it at just another opponent, just the next game on the schedule?
Just the next game on the schedule. I feel like a lot of us have played in high games. We've all been all of us, but like a lot of us have been at the high major level. We played against ranked teams. We've been the number 6 team in the country before. So, just treating every opponent with the same amount of respect, but going in with the same amount of confidence that we believe we could leave a heritage banqueted up.
Have you talked to him much about the Big 12 yet? I mean, I know it's still, a little over a month away before you get there, but Jalen and some of the other guys that have experience, have you guys been watching games? Have you been kind of looking ahead to what the league's going to bring?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like also Coach Miller always talks about Big 12, like getting ready for the Big 12, and he always has like some experience there. So I watch a lot of college basketball. I'm watching a lot of Big 12 teams, and I feel like having guys that already played in this league and this level before is very helpful for guys like me or like even like the freshmen or transfers, just to follow their steps and trust what they say about how the league is going to be and how we got to prepare for it.
What's your message to all these guys about the league?
It's a physical league. It's the best basketball league in the country. And yeah, I feel like the way we practice and honestly preparing us for it, I feel like a lot of our guys are more than ready for it. I feel like Baba is one of the best in his position in the Big 12, if not the best in his position in the Big 12. So, like, I have a lot of confidence in our team going into it, and I feel like we're going to take it by storm. But it starts today in practice, taking on Louisville. So.
Yep.
Jalen, who's the best left-handed shooter on the team?
I'd probably say me. But who else is left-handed? Oh, Sean and Buck, right?
Grant.
And GD.
More than normal.
I'll say this. I have confidence in everyone on our team that's left-handed shooting the 3.
What
But,
if
like,
you're all
I
on the
like
floor
my
at the same time?
I feel like, humbly speaking, I like my chances.
Me? I'll say they're all pretty good shooters. Just leave it at that.
Appreciate you guys.